Chap- Chapter 7. The Midnight Hour. The glow from the clock face of Big Ben shone through the tall window behind Tom's bed. Suddenly, Tom could see shadows flashing through the children's ward, figures moving in the darkness. Tom was frightened and couldn't help but gasp, "Ah!" Just then he felt a hand on his mouth, silencing. This made Tom even more frightened. "Shh," hissed someone. "Don't make a sound. We don't want anyone waking up Matron." The hand was soft and fleshy and smelled of chocolate, and as Tom's eyes adjusted to the dark, he realised it was indeed George's. Tom darted over to the matron's office. The lady was still asleep in her chair, her head resting on her desk, snoring away. "Not one sound," repeated George. Tom nodded his agreement to the boy, who slowly removed his hand. Then Tom looked behind him towards the giant clock. He could see across the rooftops of London. It was approaching midnight. Soon it was clear that it wasn't just George who was out of his bed. Robin was also there, pushing Amber along in a wheelchair. The wheelchair was old and rusty and even had a flat tyre. Because Robin had bandages over his eyes, he couldn't see a thing. Amber's bandaged legs banged straight into the wall. "Ow!" she cried. "Shh!" said Robin and George. Tom found himself joining in too. "Shh!" "Let me in," said George. He guided Amber to one side and then took over pushing Amber. Robin put his hand on George's shoulder and, like a rather pitiful Congo trio, shuffled out of the ward. "Where are you going?" asked Tom. "Shh!" the three children replied. "Can you please stop telling me to shh all the time?" protested Tom. "Just go to sleep, new boy," hissed Amber. "But," Tom protested. "You're not in our gang," added George. "But I really want to be in your gang," pleaded Tom. "Well, you can't be, mate," replied George. "But that's not fair," moaned Tom. "Please, can you turn the volume down, dear?" snapped Robin. "Yes, be quiet," said Amber. "I am being quiet," replied Tom. "You are not being quiet. You're talking, and that's not being quiet. We all have to be quiet," said Amber. "Then you be quiet," said Tom. "Oh, for goodness sake, will you all please be quiet?" said Robin, a little too loudly. All the children's heads turned towards the matron's office at the end of the ward. Matron stirred a little at the noise, but didn't wake up. There was a collective sigh of relief. "The old moo shouldn't wake up for a couple of hours at least," said George. "There was one of my special snoozy pellets that Dr. Loopers gave me pushed inside each of those chocolates." "Well done for remembering she liked the purple ones best," said Amber. "No point in ruining a whole tin of chocolates, was there?" replied George with a smirk. "You crafty devils," said Tom. "Why, thank you," replied Robin, bowing his head as if for applause. "Now, new boy," said Amber, "go back to bed right now, and remember, you did not see a thing. Let's go." And with that, the three friends trundled out of the double doors. At that moment, the chimes of Big Ben started. Bong, 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 bong. Tom listened and counted. 12 bongs. It was midnight. The boy sitting up in his bed. Now it was just him and Sally left in the children's ward. He looked over to her bed. She was asleep, as she had been since Tom arrived on the ward quite a few hours ago. Despite his swollen head, Tom felt restless. There was no way he wanted to miss out on all the fun. So he took a giant leap into the unknown and decided to follow them. Tom felt like a super spy, but the feeling didn't last. As the boy eased himself out of his bed, his left foot went straight into the bedpan on the floor. Clank, clank, clank.